You can't just know the right words to say like Lucy in Peanuts. First day of school, here she's and Charlie Brown sitting in class, and the teacher says, well, how was your summer? And Lucy steps right up and says, vacations are fine, but education is more important. I look forward to this year of interesting learning in this classroom. And the teacher really commends her. Oh, that's so smart. And then she leans over to Charlie Brown and says, you just got to know what to say. It's got to be more than just knowing the right words to say. It's got to be real. God is looking for people who will worship him in spirit and in truth, no matter what your background is, no matter what your DNA is, from what part of the people that came off of the ark you trace yourself back, and then they trace themselves back to Adam. You know what? He brings people together. He is a reconciler. He is a person who overcomes the barriers that keep people apart. Yes. And we love it. It's okay. We have our differences. I learned that out in the family. There was 5 of us, and there wasn't one of us that was the same. And everybody had something against somebody else for a while. And we fought over it, and I pulled my daughter's, my sister's doll baby's hair out, and I was trying to improve it, but she didn't see it that way. I made an enemy for a day. We're human. But it's a problem that God has found a way to overcome. What he can't fix right away, he asks us to have a forgiving heart about. To be okay and accept people who don't do like I do, and embrace them and show them some love for real, not just the kind that sounds good. He's that kind of a God. And so he says to us, sure, you only have one life, but don't worry about it. You got to take care of it. And we do lots to take care of our life, to keep ourselves safe. But what we don't want to do is think more of it than we do of pursuing the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And that's why we have people who are still to this day dying, because it's more important to them to pursue the kingdom of God and his righteousness than it is for them to live. That's because they know what's happening next. They know what's going on. They know that heaven is waiting for them. They know that one day when the resurrection occurs and the archangel sounds the trumpet and God calls back the dead from being dead, and the bodies raise up and the caskets are open, and CNN and NBC and Fox News are going to go, my God, I've never seen anything like this. Bodies are coming out of the ground. What in the world is happening? We know the end of the story. And we win. He says to us, don't worry about your life, what you will eat and what you will drink. And somebody who is in a place where they don't know where their next meal is coming from, these words will mean a whole lot more to them. It would be easy for us to say, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about what I want to eat. I'm going to go get some leftovers from last night out of the fridge. You don't have to worry about that, what you're going to eat. But there's people around the world that these words were written to, that it means everything to them. And they're faced with starvation. They're faced with the kind of things that you and I don't have to struggle with. There was a lady who, her and her son in Mexico, they don't have a husband. She didn't have a husband. Her husband died. She was put out and put on the street and in the city, and she was subject to be attacked by gangs and people, robbers, and every day she would hide in a dumpster. And each morning she would get up and go out to the dump pile where other things were dumped, where the dumpsters were dumped, and she would go out and collect these plastic bags like you get from Food Lion and Walmart. And she would get as many as she could because somebody was collecting them, and they would give her 1 or 2 pesos for it. Well, that's not much. I don't know what a peso is worth now, but this was a few years ago. And she would use that 1 or 2 pesos, and she would get just some cornmeal, and she would take that back every day and feed her and her son off of those meals. And of course, once somebody found out about it, who was nearby, they helped them. But she did that for like 6 or 8 years. Listen, don't worry about what you eat meant a whole lot more to her. We should be thankful that God has given us a plenty. We have enough, most of us have enough we could share with the neighborhood. And Jesus said, if you get in that spot, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what you're going to drink. You know, if you're in a desert place, it matters. But God doesn't want us to worry. Somebody said that worry is a type of fear, and that when fear comes knocking at the door of a child of God, and faith answers it, nobody answers back. We're faced with the difficulty of who we're going to serve. We're faced with the difficulty of whether we're going to have faith in God to supply our needs or not. Fear is I associate fear with mammon, just pursuing wealth and all the things we can get to excess. Jesus said he knows that we have need of these things, but when you let them run your life, when you let these things run your life, you don't get much back. On the other hand, God, who doesn't need us, who doesn't have to have the things that we have to offer, he asked us this so that we can come into a good relationship with him. And you wake up in the morning and you think, I wonder if I have gas for my car today. You might want to join a thought to that. Thank you so much. You might want to join a thought to that. Father, thank you that today I know that you're going to supply my needs according to your riches and glory. We don't have a clue what kind of tsunami is coming our way. We don't know. I know people, and there's people around here, some of y'all in here, have woke up and found your house underwater. You have woke up and found a spouse or a child that was dead. How do you deal with that? Humanly speaking, we can't bring a whole lot to the table. But God can give us encouragement. Even the prophet King David, when he lost his child with Bathsheba, it broke his heart. But he said, my son can't come to me no more. But you know what? He had faith in God.